In this video, we will see about HTML style using CSS. So CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Okay, so in using cascading style sheets, you can give various style properties such as background color, padding, margin, border color. So there are so many things that you can give using cascading style sheet. And the main advantage of bringing out the style, the whole thing as a CSS separately is because you can now store these styles in a separate file, and then wherever you want, if you're going to define, if you are a web designer, then mostly you will have your own designs of web pages, the color combinations, the table, however you want to give your tables, your links and your lists, or whatever it is, your background color, your image. And so these styles you can have your own style sheet, and then defined separately, not as an attribute but as a separate file, as a separate file altogether, and then use the same file in all your websites that you are designing. So reusability of the code is the main important advantage of using style as a separate thing, as a cascading style sheet, as a separate style sheet, rather than incorporating this style as a attribute inside the tag. So let us see how to use CSS. Now CSS can be used in three ways. So as I told you earlier, so look at this example, we will see this example here. So here you are given this example. It says doc type HTML, and inside head, nothing is there in the head tag. So then open your body tag. Now inside your body, the body is style equal to, and then say text align center. Now H2, so the whole thing, you will see that the body is aligned in the center. Now you can give text align as one style property, where it's alignment of text. Earlier we saw what are the different values that you can give. You can give left, right, justify, center, and all this. So now here, if you give H2, now let us see if you can change this. You will see this is how you will get. It's everything is right aligned. See, this is justified. So the next you will see that both the statements start the heading and the paragraph. The first one is a heading and the second one is a paragraph. They are aligned, and then it goes, if the paragraph goes till the end of the page, okay, end of the screen or the page, the document, the window, whatever it is, it goes till the end and then start. So you will see, if the paragraph is, suppose it has 4 or 5 lines, you will see that all the 4 lines end in the same place. That is called justify. Okay, and now H2 is style. We have already seen H2 is heading. So style equal to the color. Color is the color. You don't have to say font color. Color abdin sonale, it means only the font color. So color red. That is the style that is given here. Welcome to Java T point. And then the next one is paragraph. So style equal to color blue. And then the font size is another attribute. So it is given as 25px. So you can just change this. You can give 35. So let us see what happens. You will see that it is displayed in the giveaway. So another thing is font style. Font style is italics. It is displayed in italics. Okay, so you can also give, instead of italic, you can give bold. You will see that it is displayed in bold. Okay, so these are some of the you are giving style as an inline style. Inline அப்படின்னா and as an attribute கொடுக்கிறதுக்கு பேர் தான் வந்து inline. Okay, inline CSS. This is another way of giving. So we will see what are the three ways of giving the CSS. So three ways to apply CSS is, the first one is inline, the second one is internal or embedded CSS, the third one is external CSS. So inline is giving the style attribute in the HTML elements. So in each and every tag you add a style attribute and then give the proper attributes, the properties as an attribute. That is called inline CSS. Internal or embedded CSS is we make use of a special tag called style. So there is a tag called style, open tag, close tag, and inside that style tag you define all the styles. So but that is also defined inside your HTML only. So where do we define the style tag? We define it in the head section. So far we have defined only the title. The HTML contains two sections, one is the head and the other one is the body, and we saw that the head section, so far we have defined only a title inside the head section. Now we are going to define another style, another tag which is style tag inside the head section. And the third type is external CSS. Now external CSS is you define all the tiles, all the styles in a separate file. Okay, in a separate file, and give a name to that file and save that file as your my style dot with an extension CSS. Okay, now so far you must have a Microsoft Word, every file will have an extension. An ordinary text file, when you type it in Notepad, will have an extension .txt. A C file will have a .c. Any C programming source code will have an extension .c. Similarly, C++ will have .cpp. So Java will have its own. Similarly, Pascal. Similarly, Python. So .py, that will be the extension. So we saw HTML will have an extension. It can either have .htm or it can have .html. Similarly, a Microsoft Word file will have an extension .doc or .docx. So there are, these are all the different extensions to identify what type of a file it is. So for a CSS file, we will have to give an extension .css. So we type all the styles, different styles that you want to apply to your HTML code in an external CSS, in a notepad or whatever editor that we are using. Type it there, save it as mystyle.css. Any name. My style is, I'm just giving you a name. You can give any name there, and then it will have an extension .css. Save it, and then we will have to include that file in your HTML file. Okay, so these are the three types. We have already seen the inline way of applying CSS. So how do we do that? So by using the attribute style equal to இப்போ color colon red. இப்போ h3ங்கிறது header. இப்போ ஒரு heading define பண்ணிருக்கோம். அந்த headingக்கு என்ன சொல்லிருக்கோம்? Font color is red, font style it should be in italics, text align, it has to be aligned in the center, and font size. H3 ஒரு font size இருக்கு. We have seen different headings. H1 to H6 வரைக்கும் பார்த்தோம். H1 is the biggest one, H6 is the smallest one. So அதுக்கே ஒரு headingக்கே ஒரு size இருக்கு. Different H1 to H6 different sizes இருக்கு. But again in H3 in heading also you can give explicitly, you can define the font size which is 50 pixel, and then padding top. Now what is padding top? Padding top is what should be the top margin. Suppose you want to display the heading. So let me test this. So here it is, so according to it has applied all the styles. So look at this, the color of the heading is red, and then font style it is italics, and then it is in the center of the page, and then normally H3 without this font size you will see that H3 headingல கொடுத்தது இதை விட இன்னும் ரொம்ப சின்னதா இருக்கும். But now since we have given font size as 50 px, you see a very big, this is even bigger than your H1 heading. So we see that, and then padding top is on top, what is the space that you should give. Okay, so say, let's say, suppose I give padding this as some 20. You will see that the heading has moved 5 pixels above. So this is the padding top, is the padding nalle extra spaces ma. So padding is padding top அப்படினா மேலே எவ்வளோ கொடுக்கணும், padding bottom na கீழே எவ்வளோ தரணும், அந்த மாதிரி you can define, you can leave spaces for the header. So this is an example where for an inline CSS. Okay. Now internal CSS, so the same thing can now be given. Okay, now internal CSS and external CSS, we will see it in the next video.